Would you like to be able to retire sooner than you ever thought possible, or potentially become financially independent, or just have a really good revenue stream? Well, today I'm going to share with you how I've been able to do that. But before we get started, I'd like to mention that I am not a financial professional. I'm a hobbyist. This is something I enjoy doing. So, that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, now the purpose of my channel is, first of all, I originally wanted to do this so I could teach my son and my niece and nephew how to do investing, how to really take it to the next level. And in so doing, I would also like to teach others. So that's the whole reason behind this channel and the blog that goes along with it. Um, I especially wanted to increase the awareness that you can actually trade options in a safe way. I'm an option seller, not a buyer, and I like to keep everything fairly safe. I'm not a big risk taker. I like to do things with minimal risk. Um, I'm not looking for the huge gain. It's kind of taking the slow road and taking your time and doing it right. Also, I wanted to gain financial independence so that I could focus on things I want to do, which of course this channel is something I do want to do. And in so doing, it also gives me the opportunity to maybe also do some other types of things like volunteer work and spending extra time with my son, who's a senior this year in high school, and I feel like I've got one more year before he moves on and does his own thing. And I also enjoyed learning better ways to invest and sharing those ideas and ways of doing things with others. So um, let's move on to the next one. So, what I've done is I've always been a dividend investor. Going back over 20 years, I've invested in dividend paying companies, what's known as an income investor. And I've been very successful with it. I've been able to build up, you know, um, a portfolio of probably $500,000 with mostly these income producing stocks. I'm able to earn a fair amount of money each month just in relation to dividends and the growth of the companies. So I the part that I've added recently, going back about 9 months, was the selling of options, earning a little bit of income every time I would sell an option. And for the first 9 months that I've been doing this, I've earned an average of $1,840. I started out my first month, and again, you can go to my blog, which I have listed below, and I'm showing. If you look at reviews, you'll see my first month, which was August of 2020. I did just slightly over $1,100, and each month I've been able. That was probably my lowest month. This month, which is May of 2021, I've got about $2,600 in premiums from selling these pretty much 30 to 60 day options contracts. And literally in the last 3 months, I've been able to average closer to 2,500 a month. So I'm learning easier, better ways to do it. I'm also realizing that I really didn't know what I was doing before. Like I mentioned, I had been trading for probably 20 years, and the majority of that with options was just selling what's called covered calls, which is, to give you an example, if you have something like Coca-Cola and say it's $50, I would sell an option on Coca-Cola in, say 6 months, and put it at a price that I was willing to sell it at. So say $60, which is a pretty good increase. I would say, well, I'm willing to sell it for $60 in 6 months to a year, and then I would sell those options. And for many years, that worked out quite well. I made probably an extra 2 to 3 thousand a month doing that, and it worked really well. I did run into a couple of issues early last year when Coke really went high. It increased a lot more than what I expected, and I had quite a few shares get assigned, meaning the value of the stock actually went higher than the strike price, and those shares were called away. So it was kind of a wake up call that I really didn't know what I was doing. So I decided to do a lot of research, read some books, look at YouTube videos, read blogs, and I've learned a lot more now and have found things that I can do that I wasn't aware that I could do, such things as adjusting trades. I always let them expire, which you can actually close an option contract if you've made a lot of profit with it. You can also roll it, meaning move it out to a later date and maybe change the strike price to, if it's a call, to a higher strike price, or if it's a put, to a lower. I know the terminology of a lot of this stuff is a little bit confusing, but my main point with this channel as well as my blog is to teach people how to do it. I also set up guidelines and rules. I identified, well, what kind of probability did I want to take with these, meaning how much risk. Did I want to have an 80% chance or a 90% chance that the um, shares wouldn't be assigned or that I would take a big loss. I also had never done cash secured puts, which are very similar to the covered calls. A cash secured put is I had enough cash and I wanted to buy something, so I would sell an option contract, which gave me the opportunity to buy that at a certain price. So again, if I used the Coca-Cola example, if Coke was 50 and I wanted to buy it at 45, I could sell a contract and make maybe $100 to $200. I found the puts to be outrageously profitable, mainly because I probably have run close to 100 put options. Every one of them has expired or I've closed. And actually, looking back, I'm probably going to take a little bit more risk because some of those stocks I would have liked to have owned at the lower price that they were earlier this year. Just to give you an example, ExxonMobil, I think, was trading in the 30s and 40s, and now it's as high as 50. And I had set options in the 30s and the 40s, and if I had captured some of that back when ExxonMobil was 30 or 40, I could have done really well dividend wise. Um, let's see what else. I've also adopted what's called vertical credit spreads. It's same idea with either selling covered calls or selling cash secured put, but the difference is you buy an option farther out. Meaning if I sell an option, I'll give again an example of Coca-Cola. If I sell an option at 50, well, I'll buy an option contract, say at 55, to limit my risk. That allows me to reduce my margin or reduce the amount of risk I take with those trades. Again, gives me another opportunity to make money and lower my risk. So that being said, my emphasis with this channel is you can do a lot of these trades. Let's actually move on to the next page. So what I'm doing is with easyinvestingincome.com, which is the blog that's associated with this channel, I'm going to add what I call lessons. So I'm going to have these lessons, and they're going to be real simple. I'm starting with the dividend investing and how I do dividend investing. I do feel part of the reason that I think I've done something like 150 different trades over the last 9 months, and I haven't had any of them go bad. Part of that is because I've been doing these in value companies, dividend paying value companies that aren't as volatile as some others. Now, I have done some contract writing on Apple, and another one is ARKK or ARK, and that's been a little bit more volatile, but those have been far fewer than most of the other trades, and I've been able to roll those and get out of trouble with them, and some of my other videos discuss that. So I'm going to talk about in my first lesson, what you need to do dividend investing, which is still my primary way I like to invest. I'd like to buy companies and own them forever, and hopefully pass them to my son when I pass. And then after teaching a little bit about the dividend investing and how that works, I'm going to go on to lesson 2, which is getting started. And I think the only way you can really learn with options is just to get started. So, setting up your account to allow you to trade the options, and then just starting with a simple covered call, just so you can get a feel for how it works, and maybe take a little bit of time or a couple months just selling covered calls on stocks you already own. Now, you to sell these option contracts, each contract is 100 shares. So you would need, 100 shares or whatever you're selling the covered calls on. But in this second lesson, I'm going to share those kinds of things and how to do it. And then I'm going to release on a weekly basis, hopefully one YouTube video each week, and as well as one blog post. And again, all these would be related to doing this kind of investing. So again, I want to reiterate that I've been amazed at how much I can make. I'm currently this month, and I've got another whole week, I'm sitting at $2,600 in premium that I've made, which is, at first I thought, well, I'd be lucky to make over 1,000 a month, but now I'm at 2,600, and there's other things I haven't even learned that I can do. So, and I love the learning side. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you take some time and visit some of my other videos and tune back in as I release more and more of these videos. And if you have any questions, please add comments below. Please subscribe. I'll have links related to my blog posts. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day. Bye bye.